All right, welcome back. Like Jason Joseph, this is gonna be my Star Wars Episode 9 review. And believe it or not, I'm the one few person, and it's not bad. Um, we've had our hiccups, as a lot of people, I guess, don't like the first three either. And I mean, Episode 1, 2, and 3. I actually enjoyed those. I am probably one of the biggest black Star Trek and Star Wars fans you will ever fucking meet. So first thing I want to say is, okay, so if you're curious about the movie and you haven't watched it, it's worth going to see. It's worth spending your money going to the theaters because I literally call this the Michael Bay of Star Wars movies. We know A Force Awakens to me blowed ass. A lot of people like The Last Jedi. That one was worse to me. It blowed even more ass. The reason why, both of those stories did not captivate my attention, and we'll go through the reasons why. I mean, there are reasons why these last three are the weakest of the three, but this final movie, Rise of Skywalker, really is your Return of the Jedi of the three. You really should see it. I think you'll really enjoy it. A lot of people are mad because it's so fast paced, but you got to look at it like this. This is the 9th movie in this saga. This is the end. They literally start this movie off with the motherfuckers that they had at the end of Last of the Jedi, which is not that many people. They've somehow got a smaller little fleet, but it's still not much. It's not many of them. So you got to understand, being in that situation, you got to think about it. Everything should be heightened. Everybody should be stressed out. Everybody should be fighting. Don't nobody know what the fuck to do. A lot of things that's in this movie, I'm going to tell you what they did. And it upset a lot of people only because they didn't know either the canon or where to look at it. Okay, when Disney first bought them, you know how all the legend material they got rid of. They got rid of all the Old Republic. And the only thing that's canon is the Clone Wars and Rebel. I understand the reason why they did that is because they had to close off these 9 movies, because due to the legend canon and the Old Republic, man, dude, you keep bringing up Siths and old Jedis and so forth. You keep bringing up characters that people don't know. So I understand why they made the canon only the Clone Wars and the Rebels. With that being said, a lot of people still did not see those shows, pertaining because mostly they're cartoons. A lot of us are grown ass people. But with that being said, there were a lot of things in this movie that they put in this movie, and I want to say a lot of things like, okay, you had the Force healing, the triangle that they was trying to fight. Anytime you see a triangle like that in Star Wars, it's got a temple involved some fucking where, whether it's a Sith temple or a Jedi temple. What kind of threw me off was the fact that it was green versus the typical red Sith color, because when Darth Maul had found one with Ezra, once again, characters that you probably wouldn't know about unless you watched the canon cartoon, that was a big deal, and it was a big Sith temple. So this makes sense that they're looking for what people are calling the MacGuffin or Egg McMuffin or whatever you want to get your Happy Meal, nigga. I don't know. The triangle leads you to the temple. This particular temple is Darth Sidious's temple. Now, a lot of people are saying that he should not. There was no echoes in the first 2 movies to say he was supposed to be in this movie. But with that being said, if there were a bunch of rewrites, this was the part of the movie where I wrote down, there are people in this situation and in this production, I'm sure every fucking day, man, George, you ain't coming to the meeting? Are you for real? Come on, George, come to me. George Lucas probably didn't show up until he said, bring me that finished product. When I see that shit, I'll make a decision whether or not I want to do anything about it. And I'm pretty sure George was like, look, you got to change the ending. I know you never said nothing about him, but this is how we can work around that. And it was a lot of workarounds to make stuff make sense. The only reason that the Snoke as a clone, and if they would have worded Snoop was a failed clone of myself when Palpatine was explaining this shit, that would have fixed a lot of shit. And I think a lot of other fans would be satisfied. I'm satisfied with it as is. Because due to following Star Wars, and now we got the Mandalorian, maybe this is a clone of Yoda and not necessarily Yoda, or maybe it's a baby Yoda. Either fucking way it go, we have the clone shit in the Mandalorian. So cloning is, I'm not gonna say the norm, but we can go with that. That's feasible. So I can see how Snoop was a failed Palpatine clone. That's how I'm gonna take it. And like I say, the movie wasn't bad. It's the Michael Bay of Star Wars movies. It's a lot of fucking action. They running and gunning and busting. Like I had a couple of people online was saying that they did not like the part where they was doing that. But my whole issue was, what do you expect them to do? We ain't got time to be getting stuck. Man, we got to run and gun. We got to get to whatever we try to do. Like I say, this is episode 9. I wish people would have stopped being in their fucking feelings and would have just enjoyed the fucking movie. My whole thing about a lot of this is, and my problem with the internet, I'm not saying the internet is ruining a lot of our movies, but the internet is ruining a lot of our movies. And it's only our own fault because we feed into that bullshit of whatever they're telling us. I'll be back in a second. Hold on, y'all. I want to cut my Christmas tree on. But my whole point was, I rather enjoyed the movie. The fact that they took the time to explain a lot of the stuff that we had questions about, I'm okay with it. What's another? Yeah, that. What else? That. Yeah, all you motherfuckers are sitting here that's mad at Star Wars. It's this, it's that. It's not that bad at all. I really, really, really actually enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of Return of the Jedi. With that being said, you motherfuckers that's complaining you don't like this movie are the same motherfuckers that's complaining saying Eminem won versus Nick Cannon. And kill yourself. Y'all the bitch ass niggas Dave Chappelle was talking about in his special. What the fuck do you want from people? Like I say, I'm not upset. I really enjoy. This will be the Star Wars movie that I play over and over again when it comes to the streaming service. Facts. I mean, this will make me go back and watch The Force Awakens. I'll give it that. My only problem with The Last Jedi was it only had one good fight scene, and that was with the red dudes. And it was Ren and Rey going at him. I love how when, and this is spoilers, sorry, when Ren does finally, because Ren like gets killed 2 or 3 times. This nigga's a G. But he comes back and he's the reason more or less that the ending happens and kind of has his heartfelt moment. I thought that was cool. I mean, there were hints of there possibly being maybe a relationship between the two. It wasn't really necessary, but it still was very subtle, flicked hints like they would have had a great fucked up relationship. What could have been. But literally, what could have been, no pun intended. Because he basically comes back to the light side once even he realizes, regardless of what I want to be, even if I am a Sith, she's a Palpatine. She's the one. That was the crazy part about it. And I think what's beautiful about this, if you look at, was it the end of Return of the Jedi when Yoda said to Luke, there's another? And he was talking about these two. That, I mean, like I say, they really made everything make sense. I don't want to be like everybody else to say what was bad about the movie, what was bad about this. I mean, like I said, they had a lot of stuff. I could see where they were saying this could have been 2 movies, but if it would have been 2 movies, both of them would have sucked because it wouldn't have been that much action. I would have been bored and I would have been mad and I'd have been pissed off because I'd have been like, there should have been more action scenes in these 2 movies. Versus this movie is a big ass action scene and I can deal with that because they're explaining and they're trying to wrap up a lot of shit. Me thinking that Palpatine wasn't supposed to be in the movie, like I say, with the Snook shit, it was almost like I want to say, okay. Like I said in The Force Awakens, had they led on that Snoop was working for the dark side and just left it at that, we'd have had the little question mark in our head, is Palpatine still alive? That shit would have worked. The fact that they didn't say nothing about Palpatine in the first two movies is the only reason people are bitching, which is stupid. All the movies go together, and you don't have to acknowledge everything in every movie. So, like I say, I really wasn't gonna do a review, but I wanted to do a review just so I could show a few people out there. Not everybody is mad about this movie. I am not mad about this movie at all. I really enjoyed it. I actually did. The same thing I've always had a problem with. Once again, if I had a problem with this movie, I have a problem with all three. This same problem in all three of the last movies. So that's why I'm saying I'm not really mad, because this movie is not necessarily what I expected, but I'm pleased with what I got. So the shit that I'm mad about is like the lightsaber fights. I still say Rey and Kylo Ren, and I mean not Rey and Kylo Ren the characters. I mean the actors that portrayed them easily should have went through more fencing training. They should have put them in a real fencing class where they knew how to sword fight. Just like that. Like I said, Phantom Menace, and what was it? Was it the episode 3? And even in Clone Wars, when they had all the fucking lightsabers, you could tell all these people had some form of fencing training, and the lightsaber fights were believable. My issue with the last 3 movies is you could tell these motherfuckers was not trained that well. I mean, oh my god, the choreographing, that's the word I'm looking for, sucked in the last 3. And I'm like, J.J. Abrams, you gotta be ashamed of yourself for that fact. If anything, you could have got that right. I mean, come on now, put these people through training like they supposed to. Like the guy that played Anakin and Obi-Wan, I'm pretty sure they went through some intense fencing training. And your fight scenes would have been 10 times better, thus making the movie 10 times better. Every time I seen Ren and Rey fight, I wanted to throw up on myself. The shit was sloppy. It was reckless. It was unorthodox as hell. It didn't have no methods to it. I mean, it was just sloppy. Sloppy. I dealt with it, but that's because I'm being picky. I like fencing. I like actual sword fighting. I've seen it too many times done right, so I notice when it's done fucking wrong. But then that's not enough to hang the movie. Like I say, I enjoyed the movie. A lot of people trying to say that Rey's powers is so OP, but you gotta understand, if she's really the last fucking Jedi, and she's truly the one, and even if Palpatine is like, bitch, you supposed to take the throne and run the fucking galaxy, she is that fucking powerful. It makes fucking sense. What shocked me was the fact they actually had her shooting fucking lightning. I really like that shit. So we'll just go on and jump to the end of the movie. Like I say, it's so good for me, I don't really want to spoil this movie for you. Technically there aren't nothing you can spoil. It's a fucking Star Wars movie, and it ain't touched on anything they was supposed to. Like I say, other than me not liking the fight scenes, but I always not like the fight scenes. Like I said, the shit was tolerable. What was the part that kinda, I just wish Palpatine and Rey had a better fight scene. Like, Palpatine didn't even get a lightsaber, and we could have at least had a similar fight between like him and Yoda. I mean, this is the last fucking episode. Then go out, go hard. But you know, he shot his lightning or whatnot. Rey was strong enough to stop it. It is what it is. That's his granddaughter. This nigga's been whimpering and withering away for how many fucking years in the middle of nowhere? He's probably a little bit weaker. I mean, it's like I say, people are choosing to make big bullshit deals out of fucking nothing. They're trying to find a lot more reasons something is wrong with this movie than there actually are. I enjoyed it. Fight scenes is what it is. The action scenes, I actually enjoyed a lot of the shooting with the guns. I actually enjoyed a lot of those scenes. And there are a lot of nostalgic moments. I give them that. They hit all of those points. It's not that bad of a movie. I might actually go on and go to the theater to see it on the big screen. I really would. Shouts out to my great bootleg site that I got to see it on, because oh my god, as of the past 5 years, bootleg technology is fucking remarkable. Because if you watch a bootleg movie on a 4K fucking TV, hey, you're getting a nice theater experience for a nice little fair penny. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're probably going to get the same experience seeing this movie, not in an IMAX, but you're going to get to see a clear movie, all the sounds and everything. I really enjoyed the movie. like I said, I have nothing to really complain about. Because if I have something to complain about, I'm complaining about it in all three movies, not just the Rise of Skywalker. It's not that bad. Now, I liked how she went back to Luke's farm. I like that. And okay, I want to leave out on this note. With that being said, that she's the daughter of Palpatine, even though she's going by Skywalker. I want to say, kind of with the Dr. Manhattan theory, to where energy is not destroyed, it merely changes shape. The dark side is still in this bitch like a motherfucker. So I could see, and she shoots fucking lightning. Jedis don't shoot lightning. I don't give a fuck what you say. So there's still room for some shit to jump off. And like they say, 2023, we're still supposed to get episode 10. Episode 10 is supposed to be some brand new saga for some more movies. Maybe it is. Maybe it ain't. We get another Star Wars movie. I'm happy with that. Mandalorian's the shit. Rise of Skywalker. I give most movies, well, no, because I'll give from 1 to 5. If it sucks, I'm gonna give you a 1 or a 2. This is at least a 3, but I want to give it a 3.5. I mean, you know, it's not a 4, but it's not just a 3 either. Because like I say, I fairly enjoyed the movie. It really was not as bad as the fucking internet made it be. And I mean, I got a lot of websites that I enjoy watching your reviews and channels, and it just was not as bad as everybody made it. I mean, so what? It's jumpy. Who cares? It wasn't Justice League, all right? You know what I'm saying? We've seen shit movies. We gotta stop this. It was not Justice League, all right? It was not. And Justice League was, goddamn. What else was that sucked that it's not? It's not Suicide Squad 1 at all. It's something else that sucked that people were mad about. Go see the movie. Like, subscribe. I'm probably one of the few people that are not complaining about Star Wars. It's awesome. It's worth your time. And it caps off the 9 movies. Peace. Like Jason Joseph. I'm out.